Hello students, welcome to Veda Gate Academy. So now I will give a simple concept in which most of the engineering students how they will learn and how to understand that concept. Okay. So in engineering, okay, especially for our electrical or electronic students, the basic mathematical tool which is required to understand the subject of control system is Laplace transforms. Am I correct? Right? Without the knowledge of Laplace transforms, we cannot able to easily do the analysis of any practical system. Okay, right. Now if you are taking in Laplace transforms, there are two standard theorems are there which are used to determine the initial and final values. What is the meaning of initial value? If you are taking the meaning of initial value is if you want to determine the any initial value of any function, let me take some continuous function f of t, and if you want to determine the initial value of this continuous function at what time, simply replace t with 0 at t equal to 0 plus, right? So if you want to determine the initial value at time t equal to 0 plus, we need to simply replace t with 0 in order to get initial value. The same initial value can able to determine with the help of a theorem called initial value theorem, and there is a small proof will be there, and I am not going to discuss that proof. And in S domain we can equivalently determine with the help of the formula limit s tends to infinity s into f of s into f of s. So this theorem is called as initial value theorem, and in mathematics we are going to explain how to justify this proof. Okay, right. Now the question, there is a recent previous gate question which was asked. Okay, the example what they have given is, they have given a function in S domain f of s which is equal to 2s plus 3 divided by 2s plus 7, sorry, 3s plus 7, and they ask you to determine what is the initial value of this function. What is the initial value of this function? And my dear friends, they have given the function in S domain or time domain, they have given the function in S domain. And if they ask you to determine initial value by giving in S domain, then what you have to do, first multiply the given function with s and later replace s with infinity. Let me try to apply this concept. Okay, so let me move this some more, right. Now if you are taking, if you blindly apply this formula, we'll see what will happen to the solution. So let me take the solution here. Yeah, so here I am interested to determine initial value. So initial value will be obtained by using the formula limit s tends to infinity s into, what is the given function, guys? The given function here is 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7. Am I correct? 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7. Now the next question that is coming into our mind is how to replace s with infinity. Can I directly replace s with infinity? No, never. What will happen if I replace s with infinity? We'll see. For suppose if I don't know how to replace s with infinity, I am not a bright student, I will directly replace s with infinity. So if we replace s with infinity, infinity into 2 into infinity plus 3 divided by 3 into infinity plus 7, right? Great. Now can you tell me, guys, here already infinity is there, right? Already infinity is there. So let me move here. So infinity into, what is 2 into infinity? Infinity. Infinity plus 3 is how much? Infinity plus something is infinity, divided by 3 into infinity, infinity plus 7 is infinity. Now there are some brilliant students are there. What they will do is, they will simply cancel this infinity and this infinity, and finally they will say that the correct answer is infinity. Is it correct? Infinity by infinity is undetermined form. Never, we cannot able to cancel this infinity and this infinity. So the first point you have to understand here from this discussion is, you need to understand how to replace s with infinity. Okay, nearly in a class, if you are taking a 60 members class, nearly 20% of the students, they are not aware of how to replace any variable with infinity. My dear friends, whenever if you want to replace any variable with infinity, first you have to take the maximum power of that variable in the numerator polynomial and maximum power of that variable in the denominator polynomial as common. Okay, let me try to see the procedure. The correct procedure, let me use a different color. So the correct procedure to solve this particular thing is, let me use blue. Okay, so here the correct procedure is limit s tends to infinity. What I have to do, before substituting directly this variable s with infinity, we have to take maximum power of that variable as common from numerator and denominator. What is the maximum power of order of the polynomial in the numerator? S power 1. So if I take, already s is there. Okay, be careful. So already s is there. Now if you take s power 1 as common, guys, what you are going to get? 2 plus 3 by s, right? Similarly, if you take s as common from the denominator, how much you are going to get? 3 plus 7 by s. Am I correct? Right. Now what will happen? This numerator s and denominator s will get cancelled with each other. So this and this s will get cancelled. Now replace s with infinity, guys. If you replace s with infinity, then what will happen? Let us try to see. If you replace s with infinity, I am writing over here. So limit s tends to infinity, right? So there is no need of again writing this term, right? So let me erase this, right? If you replace s with infinity, here what you are going to get? Infinity into 2 plus 3 by infinity divided by 3 plus 7 by infinity. Can you tell me what is the value of something by infinity, guys? So what is the value of something by infinity? 3 by infinity is 0. 7 by infinity is also 0. So now if you calculate, do the calculation, what you will have? Infinity into 2 plus 0. Infinity into 2 is infinity divided by 3 plus 0. So you are going to get infinity into 2 by 3, which is equal to infinity. So this is the correct procedure to replace any variable with infinity. So the initial value for this particular system f of s equal to 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7 is infinity. Is it correct? Again, it is also a wrong answer, guys. Be careful. Again, it is also a wrong answer. Why it is wrong answer? Even though the procedure for this particular formula is correct, but still whatever the answer which we are getting is wrong. Let me explain why it is wrong. Let us try to analyze this particular system by applying to a practical example. Let us take the same function 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7. Assume that I have a fan. If I do the mathematical modeling of this fan, I am getting a function as 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7. Okay, if I do some mathematical modeling by writing the describing equations, I am getting the function f of s equal to 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7. Now, what is the meaning of what I have to calculate here? Initial value. Initial value means at what time we have to calculate this, guys? At t equal to 0. Yes or no? Right? Now, what is the meaning of initial value to this fan? That means the meaning of initial value is at what speed my fan is rotating immediately after I switch on the supply. Again, I am repeating, at what speed my fan is rotating immediately after I switch on the supply. According to this question, immediately after I switch on the supply, at what speed my fan is rotating, guys? Infinity speed. Now, can you imagine, or you can ask yourself, is there any practical systems which are having infinite value at time t equal to 0? No practical systems will have infinite value at time t equal to 0. Am I correct or not? Right? So, the point you need to understand here is, most of the engineering students, what they are learning in the respective subjects is, they will understand what is the concept. Yes or no? They will understand what is the concept. Can you tell me what is the concept here which we have explained? Initial value. So they know what is the concept. And some of the students, they even know how to apply the concept. How to apply the concept. Am I correct? Here, how to apply the concept, the point you need to understand it is never supply or substitute directly s with infinity. So you can understand, or you have learned how to apply the concept, how to replace s with infinity. Now, most of the engineering students, they never bother about when we have to apply the concept. Right? So that means there is some restriction is there for each and every theorem, what we are going to derive. Right? If you can learn when we have to apply that concept, then we can able to enjoy the subject or particular concept. Not only this concept, well, whenever if you are studying any particular subject, or whenever if you are studying any particular topic, you need to pose yourself these 3 questions. What is that concept? When we have to apply that concept? How to apply that concept? What, how, when? These 3 questions, if you can able to pose while preparing any particular topic, then definitely you won't forget that subject in your lifelong. And you will enjoy that subject. You will get the basics very quickly. Okay? So, my dear students, from now onwards at least, try to prepare in that manner, then definitely you won't forget the subject. Okay, this is what is the difference between the Veda Gate Academy and the way you are learning the subjects in your engineering. Okay, if you can able to prepare any concept in this manner, definitely you can able to enjoy the subject and you can able to crack any kind of competitive exam. And we are with you until you are going to success in our life. Okay, so the point you have to understand here is, there is some limitation will be there. Now I will try to explain that quickly. If you are taking any function in S domain, if you are taking any function f of s in S domain, the based on the order of numerator and denominator, any function in S domain will be classified into 3 types. Okay, so based on the order of numerator and denominator. Let me take the same example, 2s plus 3 divided by 3s plus 7. Now can you tell me what is the order of denominator polynomial, guys? Here order of denominator polynomial, can you tell me? Order of denominator is how much? 1. Whereas order of numerator polynomial, how much, guys? Here order of numerator polynomial in this example is also 1. Can I say order of denominator is exactly equal to numerator? Yes. Whenever if the order of denominator polynomial is exactly equal to numerator polynomial, such kind of functions we can call it as proper functions. Proper functions. Whereas if you are taking some other example f of s, which is equal to some s plus 1 divided by s plus 7 into s plus 9. Now can you tell me what is the order of numerator and denominator in this example, guys? The order of denominator, OD, I can write order of denominator is equal to how much? If you multiply these two things, what is the maximum power of s you are going to get in the denominator? 2, right? So I can say order of denominator is equal to 2. And in the similar manner, can you tell me what is the order of numerator polynomial, guys? Maximum power of s in the numerator is 1. So order of numerator is 1. In this case, can I say order of denominator is less compared to order of numerator? Okay. So whenever if order of denominator is exactly equal to order of numerator polynomial, such kind of function we can call it as proper. Whereas if order of denominator is less than order of numerator, such kind of functions we can call it as improper functions. What we can call it as, guys? Improper function. Sorry, it is order of denominator in this case is, let me make a small correction over here. So here the order of denominator is greater than order of numerator, such kind of functions we can call it as improper, or strictly, sorry, it is called as strictly proper functions. What we can say? Strictly proper functions. Right. Last case is, whenever if you are taking some example, let me take another example, f of s. Okay, let me move this. If you are taking f of s equal to, let me take a simple example, s plus 2 into s plus 9 divided by s plus 3. Right, here in this case I can say order of denominator is equal to 1, order of numerator is equal to 2, and I can say order of denominator in this case is less than order of numerator. Yes or no? 1 is less than 2, whereas in this case 2 is greater than 1. Such kind of functions we can call it as improper functions. So the point you have to understand here is, any function in S domain will be classified into how many types? 3 types. What are those 3 types of functions in S domain? Strictly proper, proper, improper. Strictly proper means order of denominator must be greater than numerator. Proper means order of denominator is exactly equal to numerator order, whereas improper means order of denominator is less compared to numerator. Are you following? In terms of, if you enter into control system subject, these will be converted in terms of poles and zeros, and we can say whenever if a system consists of number of poles more than number of zeros, such kind of function we can call it a strictly proper function. Whereas if number of poles are exactly equal to number of zeros, it is called as proper function. If number of poles are less compared to number of zeros, it is called as improper function. If you go more technical terms in terms of control system subject, here we are using the simple terms order of denominator and numerator. The point why I am discussing this one is, this initial value theorem is applicable only for, that means there is a restriction is there for initial value theorem, as I discussed earlier. So the initial value theorem is applicable only for strictly proper functions. What, guys? Initial value theorem is applicable only for strictly proper. In the exam, in any kind of competitive exam, if they intentionally give either proper or improper functions, as what we have discussed, okay, if they have given proper or improper, in that case I cannot able to determine the initial value for those kind of functions. Okay, so the simple answer for this one is can't be determined. So in that previous, so the what we have to say, the answer for this initial value of proper or improper functions is can't be determined. So as I said, this is a previous gate question. Nearly 60% of the students who appeared for that gate exam, they kept option A. They have given option A as infinity, and they kept option A as infinity, and unfortunately they got negative marking. So as I said, my sincere suggestion, whenever if you prepare for any kind of competitive or any kind of topic in your engineering subjects, is ask yourself what, how and when for that particular question. Okay, so the answer correct, what they have given is, they have framed the options in this manner. Option A they have given infinity, option B they have given 3/7, option C 0, and last option what they have given is can't be determined. So here if you observe here, guys, can you tell me what is this function? It is a proper function. There is no need of applying or doing this entire procedure. The moment if they have given either proper or improper function, the simple answer for initial value is can't be determined. Have you understand? Right. Let me try to even explain what kind of general mistake you are going to do even with one more example. There is one more previous gate question which was asked in 2016 somewhere. Okay, so the question what they have given is, they framed a question based on final value theorem. First, let me try to explain what is the meaning of final value and how to apply this theorem to calculate the final value in S domain. What is the meaning of final value, guys? If I am giving some continuous function f of t in time domain, if you want to determine the final value, what I have to do? Simply replace t with infinity. According to this formula, if you want to calculate the final value in S domain or frequency domain, simply what the equivalent formula to determine final value is limit s tends to 0 s into f of s. S into f of s. Now I will give some example before going to ask that previous gate question. For suppose if I am giving a function f of s equal to, if I am giving some function f of s equal to s plus 1 divided by s square, let me take s square plus 9s plus 20. Okay, I have given this function, and if I am asking determine what is the final value of this function, what I have to do? First I have to multiply this function with s and later replace s with 0. Let me apply the same procedure. Let me try to solve this one. I need to calculate final value, which is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into, what is the given function, guys? Given function is s plus 1 divided by s square plus 9s plus 20. Am I correct? Yes, good. Now what I have to do? I need to multiply s with 0. I need to replace s with 0. Can I directly replace s with 0? Comfortably, of course. We can directly replace s with 0. Now if you directly replace s with 0, how much you are going to get, guys? 0 into 0 plus 1 divided by 0 square plus 9 into 0 plus 20. Am I correct or not? Right? 0 into something. There is no need of doing this entire thing. In a single answer, I can say the final value for this function is 0. Can I say final value for a practical system becomes 0? Yes, of course. For suppose if you are taking the same fan example, after I switch off the supply, what is the final value of the speed of the fan? 0. It will reach us to 0, right? So final value can be 0 of any system. So the answer becomes correct. Now I will give a recent previous gate question, guys. Okay, so what you will do is you can try to stop the video after giving that question, okay, and try to solve that question within less than 1 minute, because in the gate exam, as we know, we will have total 65 questions, 3 hours duration. That means 180 minutes. That means on an average for any question we have to spend not maximum 2 minutes 45 seconds. If you are deviating or crossing more than 2 minutes 45 seconds, then definitely you can lose the marks or you cannot able to attempt all the questions. Okay, my sincere suggestion is try to practice as many times as possible on a particular subject, then only you can able to save the time in the exam. So the two important factors in any kind of competitive exam is for speed as well as accuracy. Speed as well as accuracy. You need to be solve very accurately, otherwise you will lose the marks because there is a negative marking. And the second one is you need to be you need to solve as early as possible within less than 2 minutes 45 seconds. So now I will give a question to you guys. So what you will do, you can pause the video and you can try to start your digital watch, or in your mobile you can start the stopper and you can try to solve this question within less than 1 minute. The question what they have given is, they have given a very simple function, guys. The function what they have given is f of s equal to 16 divided by 4 divided by s square plus 16, and they ask you to determine what is the final value of this function, right? Now if I solve with the help of the procedure whatever I have discussed, what is the final value theorem? According to final value theorem, what you have to do, guys, limit s tends to infinity, you have to multiply the given function with s. So this is s tends to 0, not infinity, right? So let me stop this, right? So if you are taking, this is limit s tends to 0, s into, what is the given function? 4 by s square plus 16, right? Now if you replace s with 0, what you are going to get? 0 into 4 divided by 0 square plus 16. So 0 into whole thing is how much you are going to get? 0. Am I correct? Right? So what is the answer for this question? The final value of this function is 0. So they will give options in such a way that first option 0, second option some 1 by 4, third option they are going to give 1 by 2, option D can't be determined. Can you tell me now what is the correct answer? What is the correct answer, guys? You are not going to get 0 is a wrong answer. Why 0 is a wrong answer? And the correct answer is again can't be determined. Let me again try to explain why the answer for this question is wrong. Okay, so if you try to clearly see here, let me move here. So if you are taking this function f of s equal to 4 by s square plus 16, right? Now I will try to apply inverse Laplace transform. Again I will write f of s equal to what, guys? 4 by s square plus 16. Now if you try to apply inverse Laplace transform for this function, can you tell me what is the inverse Laplace transform of this one? It is very similar to omega divided by s square plus omega square. What is the Laplace transform of sine omega t, guys? If you are taking Laplace transform of sine omega t, if you try to see, yeah, sorry. Now if you are taking Laplace transform of sine omega t. Laplace transform of sine omega t is what? Omega divided by s square plus omega square, right? Now the same thing, if you apply inverse Laplace transform of this function, you are going to get the answer. Let me move to the original position so that you can able to visual, right? So if you are taking the inverse Laplace transform of this one, sine, what you are going to get? Omega t. What is the value of omega here? 4 by s square plus 4 square. So you are going to get sine 4t. Let me try to draw the waveform corresponding to this. Okay, so if I try to draw the waveform, this is my y-axis, yes, and this is my x-axis. Am I correct? Right. Now if I try to draw the waveform, sine waveform, am I correct? You have to draw the sinusoidal function. If I try to draw the sinusoidal function, this is my sinusoidal function. So I am very poor in drawing the diagrams. Please bear with me. Right. What is our interest in this question? This is my function f of t, right? What is f of t, guys? F of t, what we got is sine 4t. If I try to draw this sine function, you are getting the sine function in this fashion. Am I right? So now, what is our interest in this question? Do I need to determine initial value or final value? I need to determine final value. For suppose for the same question, if I am asking you to determine initial value, what is the initial value? If I am asking to determine the final value. Now, final value means as t tends to how much, guys? Infinity. As t tends to infinity, can anybody say what is the final value of the sinusoidal function? I cannot able to say the final value of sinusoidal function because my sinusoidal function is continuously varying or oscillating in between -1 to +1. So even as t tends to infinity also, my sinusoidal function is continuously oscillating in between -1 to +1. It is a range rather than a value. So the final value, if you want to precisely speaking, the final value for this one is varying in between -1 to +1. I cannot able to say it is a particular value. It is a range rather than a value. So the simple answer is can't be determined. Or in the options, instead of can't be determined, if they have given from -1 to +1, at least I can say -1 to +1. Okay, but strictly speaking, the point you need to understand again here is what is the concept? Final value. How to apply the concept? This is a procedure, but you need to understand when we have to apply that concept, when we have to apply final value. Now let me try to see the differences between the first question what I have discussed and the next question. If you see, again I am directly giving the limitation of this final value theorem so that we will try to justify this during the class. Trust me, I am there. Okay, so if you are taking final value theorem, generally the final value theorem is applicable. Okay, the derivation, that means how we are getting this formula based on derivation. During the derivation, they have restricted the derivation or this formula to some particular thing, and that restriction is the final value theorem is applicable only if the roots of s into f of s, only if the roots of s into f of s are lies in the left hand side of s plane. Again I am repeating this limitation, guys, please be careful. The final value theorem is applicable only if the roots of s into f of s are lies in the left hand side of s plane. That means precisely in our control system terminology, I can say whenever if the systems are stable, then we can able to determine the final value. So if you take or consider this example, the roots of s into f of s. If you are taking s into f of s is this one, can you tell me what are the roots? How to determine the roots? Simply make the denominator polynomial to 0 and find the roots. If you are taking the denominator polynomial of s into f of s, you will have s square plus 9s plus 20 equal to 0. This I can able to write as s plus 4 into s plus 5. Am I correct or not, right? So from here, what are the roots you are getting, guys? -4, -5. These are the frequencies what we got, system frequencies. Now if you try to locate these roots in the s plane, this is my real axis and imaginary axis. One root lies at -4, another pole lies at -5. Both these roots are lies in left hand side of s plane or right hand side? Left hand side. For this one I can able to determine or I can able to apply this formula. Whereas if you see the next example, if you see this example, can you tell me what are the roots of s into f of s? After multiplying s with f of s, you are getting this function. For this one, what are the roots? You have to make denominator to 0. What is the denominator here? S square plus 16 equal to 0, right? From here, you are going to get s square equal to minus 16. From here, you are going to get s becomes, let me write over here. So let me erase this portion, right? So you are going to get s equal to root minus 16, which is nothing but plus or minus j4. Am I right? Now if I try to locate these roots in the s plane, this is real and imaginary axis. One is located at plus j4, another one is located at minus j4. So can I say the roots, both the roots of this given function s into f of s lies in the left hand side or on j omega axis? On j omega axis. Whenever if the roots lies on j omega axis or in the right hand side of s plane, in that case the simple answer is can't be determined. Final value cannot be determined. So intentionally in the exam, before going to apply final value theorem, what is the cross check you have to do? Okay, what is the checklist you have to make before applying final value theorem? You need to make sure that the roots of s into the given function must be lies in left hand side. If they frame any question in such a way that if the roots of s into f of s are either on imaginary axis or in the right hand side, in that case there is no need of doing this entire procedure. Simple answer for that one is can't be determined. Generally for marginally stable and unstable, these kind of systems are called marginally stable. We will try to understand the technical meaning of marginal stable and unstable over the period. Trust me, we are with you. Okay, so the conclusion what I would like to say is, always try to pose what is the concept, how to apply the concept, when we have to apply the concept. And in this case I am giving two things, okay, initial value theorem, limitation and final value. Whenever before applying the formula of initial value, what you have to check? You have to check whether the given function is strictly proper or not. If the, what is the meaning of strictly proper? Order of denominator must be greater than order of numerator. If they intentionally give either proper or improper, what is the simple answer? Initial value can't be determined. Next, coming to the final value theorem. Before going to apply the final value theorem, you need to make sure that first you have to do the check that you need to see that the roots of s into f of s should be lies in left hand side. That means indirectly I can say my system to be stable. If the roots of s into f of s are lies either on j omega axis or in the right hand side of s plane, in that case the final value can't be determined. So this is how we have to learn the subject, and Veda Gate Academy, all the faculties, core faculties are going to teach in such a way that you can able to enjoy the subject and you can learn the subject and you can able to attempt any kind of competitive exam. Trust me, we are with you. Thank you.